People, I've got problems. Okay, maybe not like real problems, but I keep starting projects without finishing the last project. I'm not sure if anybody else can relate to that or not, but in the next couple of videos, we're gonna be knocking out some of these projects that I've started and not finished, so that way we can move on to some even cooler ones. So what projects are unfinished and what do we need to do to finish them? Well, first off, I have a few network jacks that haven't been terminated yet, so we need to take care of those. Like this one, that one, and probably this one. Also, there is cabling everywhere in my office, like over here, over there, and right here. I have a network rack that needs to be set up and installed. And lastly, I need to set up some sort of charging station because right now all of my gear is plugged into pretty much any available outlet and is mostly just sitting on the ground. All of that definitely needs to be cleaned up so it's not a tripping hazard, a fire hazard, and most of all just because it looks pretty terrible. Today we're going to start with all of the networking projects. So we're going to be terminating all of the jacks, we're going to be setting up an awesome network rack, and we're going to be loading all of the networking equipment into it so it has a nice place to live. So let's knock out all of the jacks that need to be terminated, and then we'll reconvene to build the network rack. So next to me here we have the Navepoint 18U networking cabinet, and we also have two of the 1U 11-inch rack trays. This equipment is from Navepoint's consumer series, and I've never actually used anything from them before, so I am very curious about build quality and how this stacks up to something like an enterprise rack. So the cost for all of these items here was about $325 shipped, which is not a bad price, and it should keep all of the networking equipment nice and tidy. I'm not exactly sure how long this thing is going to take to set up, so let's just jump in and get started. All right, so it is the next day now, and the rack has been built, as you saw in the last clip. I did take the side panels off and the front panel just to make it a little bit lighter for putting it up on the wall. It'll just make things a lot easier. All in all, it went together really well. No issues. The build quality seems decent so far. And yeah, now we just need to get this board up on the wall and then get the rack mounted. All right, so this was definitely not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Apparently, if you have never drilled into concrete, or if you do it very rarely, yeah, it's kind of a challenge, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you might be able to see I kind of stripped the head off of that screw. So that happened on that one. And then also, let's see if I can get over here. Also the one up in that top corner. So the other ones are good. I've got one in the corner there, one in the corner there. And then inside we've got 4. So we got 2 up top and then the ones on the bottom. So the only thing I would really recommend is just be careful. Make sure that you're screwing into the concrete far enough with your drill bit to make the hole, and then you shouldn't have any issues with taking the head off of there. So yeah. Okay, so next up is going to be the very time-consuming part. So I don't know how much of it I'm going to film, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our existing network cables up here. I'm going to make a service loop in case we ever need to repatch anything. And then I'm going to bring all of the cables into the cabinet and start getting them attached to the patch panel. All right, well, I am finally done routing all of our cables, connecting everything to the patch panels, and I just want to say that the reason I didn't film it is because, honestly, it was quite frustrating. These little keystones from Monoprice, I really kept having issues with them breaking because you need to, smash the back piece on there, and then there's 2 doors that close, and when the cable is in there, it's very difficult, and again, it just broke. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but either way, I managed to get through it. Like I said, we got everything connected here. Another thing that I did is I went to each of the jacks and tested from here to the jack and validated that all my pairs are correct. So as you can see, I've got some items kind of plugged in and they're just running outside of the case here or the cabinet to my router, and that's just to keep everything running, while I switch everything over. But now I'm actually gonna just unplug everything and start moving everything, all the equipment that is into the rack. I am really excited with the way that this thing is turning out. I've wanted a network rack in my house for the longest time, and so now like seeing it actually here and everything in it is just awesome. So real quick, I just want to give you a brief overview of everything that I installed in here. And if you have any questions on anything, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I will also have links to all these things in the description. All right, so the first couple things that we have here are we have these patch panels. We've got 2 of them from Monoprice. We've got the keystones from Monoprice, which I briefly mentioned before. And then we've also got these 6-inch Cat 6A cables from Monoprice. So it's probably going to be hard to see, but back here you can see this PDU or power distribution unit, which just mounts in the rack. And I do have this APC battery backup. So the switch, the router, and the modem are all plugged into there. Actually, so is my NAS here. And so there really isn't anything being plugged into the PDU in the back except for the fan, which you can just barely see up there in the top of the rack because we don't really need backup power on that. It's not really getting that hot in here anyway. So yeah, so I've got this battery backup that may or may not support all of those items, and that's why we have this extra room here. So if I do need to upgrade, I can go to a rack mountable battery backup. And then the PDU is just there for, you know, any other network devices I come across that I want to plug in here. This is my modem from my ISP, which is plugged into our router up here. And then we have this awesome little 6-inch SFP cable that I got from Amazon that connects to our switch. So that's how all of those things kind of interface together. Before I get into the switch and the oh, that was the other way around. That's the router and the switch. Before I get into those, I just want to talk about the 4-port NAS here. So this is the DS418 from Synology, and this thing has been awesome over the years. I just use it as a backup for whatever stuff I have that needs to be backed up in the house. But yeah, nothing too interesting on this shelf. One thing I did want to note, and you can actually probably see it, maybe not. So this shelf here, obviously it has nothing on it besides this little plastic thing, and it has a little bit of a bend in it. That's just how it came. You can see at the bottom here, I know there's more weight on this one, but this one was already a little bit bent, so I don't know. That's just something to keep in mind if you're looking at purchasing those shelves. All right, so going back up here to talk about the important stuff, we have the Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro, which is the router that I'm using, and we also have a 24-port Ubiquiti PoE switch. So these 2 things I've had for a couple of years now, and honestly, they have been so solid. I don't think I'll ever go to anything besides Ubiquiti ever again. They just work great. And this is the first time I'm going to be using them with this SFP cable, so, you know, I'm assuming not much is going to change. Hopefully everything still works the way it did before. And I've still got a bunch of ports open there. I don't exactly know how I'm going to hook these up and make it look good. I'm still working on that. I'm also not going to leave these cables in here. I know they're not meant to be there. I'm just more or less using them so they kind of stay in place. But I might actually move that. I don't know. Right now, the goal was just to get everything mounted in the rack and mostly clean, and then I'm going to come back in later because I also want to label these. I have all of the ports labeled around the house, so I want to come back in and label those. So, you know, there's still some cleanup that needs to be done here. So then the last piece of networking equipment is I actually have 2 of these Ubiquiti Nano HD access points. I have one down here on top of the rack, and then I have another one. Actually, it's on the other side of the basement. But in this position, they actually work great upstairs. Like I have virtually no loss in signal. So yeah, just sits up there, and got that plugged into our PoE port here. Again, I'll clean it all up later once I figure out how to make the cabling look nice in there. But yeah, so far it's been solid. So like I said earlier, this has turned out to be pretty amazing. I couldn't be happier with this because all of my stuff is off the floor. It looks relatively clean, and it all works, so I can't really complain with that. I know I said this before, but again, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hug your friends and family, and we'll see you in the next one.